Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us today. We just got this and that and the other going on, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, we got a lot of little things going on, and one big thing right now is as we speak, we're getting lime spread on our hay fields. He's already been up here and done our pasture. I guess we're getting 4 more loads brought to us today on the hay fields. Around here in our area, the pH is just naturally acidic here. It's naturally a low pH. And so liming is something that you occasionally have to do. We like to do it about every 2 to 3 years, just depending on the shape of the grass and everything. But it's something that we periodically have to do just to keep really good hay in our fields. If not, we would eventually end up with nothing but broom straw and no really good grass. So guys, the first thing I think that we're going to work on this evening is putting new screws in our roof. Now, we're not going to do them all today because it's just way too many and we don't really have that much time. But part of the maintenance of a tin roof or metal roof, whatever you want to call it, is replacing the screws. Ours actually should have been done quite a while ago, but we're just now getting around to it. And we have some screws on the back side over here that have already started to like work their way out. And when we get up there, I'll show you the difference in the screws of what we're taking out and what we're putting back and kind of explain why that's something you have to do. All right, guys, so here we are on top of the house. I'm not going to worry about the steeper part today. Honestly, I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to get done today. And I promise y'all, I'm not going to bore you with sitting here watching me pull all these screws out and put new screws back. I just want to kind of to do this part of the video as a simple reminder that if you have a metal roof on your house, it's not all maintenance free by no means. So we'll go over here and show you a couple of these screws. Jacob had the brilliant idea that he's going to get up here by coming out his window, which is just brilliant, really. I was worried about him climbing a ladder. But you got this, ain't you? Mm-hmm. All right, come on. All right, so y'all, I'm going to show you right here is a good example. That screw is loose. See that? I can just screw it out with my hand. Well, over time, what happens with the sun shining on this, it will work that metal and make that screw draw out. Well, you see right there, there's a rubber washer on that. Well, over time, that rubber washer will go bad as well, and the sun and everything else starts to deteriorate it. So, just like anything else, if you want your roof to keep from leaking, you've got to replace the screws. And really not necessarily the screw, it's the rubber washer, but the easiest way to do that is just to replace the whole screw. So I want to show you what we're going back with. Is this screw here. And you see how it's got a little lip over top of the rubber washer? That keeps the sunlight and everything else off of that rubber washer, so hopefully it lasts longer. And the screw itself is bigger just because of the fact that you know, you've already got your old hole there, so if you put the screw the same size into it, the screw's probably going to be just a little bit loose. You put a new screw in it that's bigger, it's going to screw down tight and hold everything tight. I don't know what size screws these are, I can't remember. They're about 1.5 inches long, and that's about the length that what we got that's coming out of here. I guess we're going to get started replacing screws. So you're going to notice that we've got 2 different drills, and the reason for that is being that these screws are bigger, in turn the size of the nut, the size of the screw is bigger. So it takes 2 different bits to get one in and one out. So we're going to be pulling them out with this drill and putting them back in with that drill. I want to show y'all a good comparison between the old screw and the new screw. You see there's quite a bit of difference there. That old screw's all rusted. This roof has been on here, I'm gonna say at least 20 to 25 years. I'm not 100% sure, and this is the first time that we've ever touched the screws on it. Now I think recommendation is you actually go back and tighten up the screws after 5 or 6 years or something like that. And then it's more like within the 10 to 15 year range is when you're supposed to replace your screws. Don't hold me to that because I don't know that for sure, and I'm sure it actually depends on the tin manufacturer, the screw manufacturers, all that stuff, recommendations. I don't know. This is long overdue, and a lot of the screws in my roof have leaked in the past. Luckily, it's just over top of the porch. The more screws you have in your roof, the more potential leak spots you have. So also keep that in mind if you're ever building a barn or anything like that. The more screws you may think to yourself, all right, I'm doing good by putting this many screws in, it's gonna hold that tin on better. But honestly, the more screws you have, like I say, the more potential places you have for that roof to leak. So just always remember that. So I know y'all keep hearing that ratchet sound. If you don't know, which I'm sure most people who use drills do know, but these settings right there on your drill allow you to only get something so tight. And with a screw like this, you don't want to crank it down all the way. You just want to snug it up enough to match that rubber washer and then leave it at that. These, for when it snows, it's supposed to keep this, well, when this roof was first put on, the snow would slide off of it in sheets. But these things right here stop the snow and they allow it to melt before it comes off the roof. Because when the snow, when it comes off of the roof in a sheet, it'll tear your gutters and everything else off the house.
We had a bush that it crushed one time.
Yeah, and it crushed one of our bushes up front.
We don't much need these things anymore, but if we never have snow for 5 years and we decide to take them off, then it will snow.
Maybe that's what we need to do if we want the snow, take them off.
Yeah.
We got that one hole run right down through here. So from that corner to here has the new screws in it. But I'm gonna be quite honest with y'all. I really underestimated just how hot it was gonna be on this roof. So I think what I'm gonna do is come back out here once the sun gets behind this tree right here. And this is the south side of our house. So it gets constant blaring sun all the time. And that's the reason the screws on this side are worse than they are on the front side, because that heating up from the sun and then cooling back off at night, that expansion and contraction of the metal and stuff just draws these screws out. So like I said, I think I'm going to go do something else for now and let the sun get on down lower in the sky and then come back up here and work on this strip right here. I hope to have all of this right across here on this back portion done this evening. And you know, we're over top of our porch right now. This is the roof that's over the porch. And then, you know, the main house is on this steeper part right here. I think I got some work I'm gonna try to do in the garden, so I think I'll go work on that. Well, I decided I'm gonna take care of one other thing right here before I go do some work in the garden, and that is more pertaining to this roof. This tree right here, that's right beside our house, maple tree, has got some limbs that are leaning right over onto the roof there, and they're good sized limbs, but you can't get up there and work because the limbs are all up on the roof and they're in the way, and really they don't need to be hanging over the house like that anyways. I kind of don't want to cut them off because they provide so much shade, but at the same time, like I say, it's not good for the roof to have those limbs laying over on top of it like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the pole saw and try to get these down without doing anything to the top of the house there. So I'll try to cut them and let them gently fall, and hopefully they don't come down and, like, you know, land real hard on the tin or anything like that. Well, that's a little better, I'd say. I got that one limb, can't hardly pick it up in the camera. That one limb right there, I'd like to get off of there, but it's too high for me to reach, so I'll have to do something different with that. But, I don't know if y'all caught that or not, Megan's clothesline run from the porch to this tree right here, to that hook. Well, one of the limbs caught that, the clothesline, and bent the hook, so that's gonna be my #1 priority now. Megan loves her clothesline, and we gotta make sure that we've got that thing right, and then I can get it back up there. I gotta get it back on the pulley over there. Maggie, come here.
What?
Come here.
What?
Hold this.
Okay.
Just hold it tight, kind of. Y'all, the first words out of Jacob and Maggie's mouth when they seen this was, "You better not tell Mama." We gotta figure out how we're gonna get this hook bent back.
Oh no.
Yeah, that fits perfect.
Kind of broke it. They kind of broke it. Daddy, I got bending it back perfect. How did
There.
you get it to fall?
Hand it to me, Maggie.
How did you make it fall?
The limb hit it and caught it. All right.
There.
Now we just gotta tighten it back up. This clothesline we bought from Megan. It's been about a year now. And this was the best Best thing we could have ever got her. She absolutely loves this clothesline. I mean, it's good, heavy duty. You got this little ratchet system right here that tightens it all up. I just loosened it so I could hang it back up. So you can put it however tight you want to put it. Still needs to go a little bit tighter. Oh, I know what's missing. The little, there it is.
Yeah, the spinning thingy.
So that just rides in there just like that. Keeps them lines tight with each other.
All fixed. There.
There we go.
You can't even tell it.
She'll never know until she goes to edit this video that we tore it down, will she?
Mm-mm.
Or that I tore it down.
Yeah.
Ain't it funny how what you think's gonna be a quick, easy job turns into fixing 5,000 other things before you can be done with it. But anyways, that's done. I just gotta figure out now I need to get up there and get that limb right there off. I might do something that I shouldn't do. I think I'm gonna put the ladder up, stand on the ladder, and reach up there with the pole saw to get that limb.
That thingy fell off.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. Daddy is strong.
Now I got a big pile of brush I gotta take off. Let's go see what else we can get into. So what you think? Is that gonna be a big enough place?
Oh, it'll be plenty.
Be more than you'll eat one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll have plenty to share.
So what we're fixing to plant is what we call a salet patch. I think it's technically like what some people call a salad patch, but in our neck of the woods they call it a salet patch.
Yeah.
So anyways, what that consists of,
It's like a mixture of your greens and stuff.
right?
Yeah.
So you have turnips in it, have turnip greens in it, mustard. Usually you have kale and stuff like that mixed in with it, but we don't have any kale seeds, so we're not going to put any of that in there. And that's about it. We've got five different seed packs down here that's going to be mixed together that's going in this little spot.
And we don't usually plant them in rows. We just
scatter it.
Just scatter it out. Yeah.
So this can actually act, and that's what a lot of people around here done back in the older days. Would you just plant your whole garden in your salad patch, and that would be like your wintertime cover crop. And it typically don't get killed out unless you have a really, really hard freeze or something like that.
Or the snow lays on it. We've had that happen too. But it ain't snowed in years, so.
Yep, we had that happen one year. It snowed a lot, and then it just laid there, never melted. And when the snow finally melted, our greens and everything that was underneath were dead. But
killed our garlic that year too.
It did, didn't it? You're right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
But anyways, let's get these seeds scattered out. We got to rake them in. They're so small, you don't really have to do a lot, you know, in the way of after you scatter the seed. Technically, honestly, they could just lay there as long as you got a shower of rain on them. But I do like to cover them in just a little bit. So we've got a pack of curled mustard. These are all top turnips. These are 7 top turnips. This, I believe, is Florida broadleaf mustard. And this is purple top white globe turnips, which I think are about the same thing as these. I don't know. But anyways,
I don't know either.
it'd be plenty of turnips
I just
on
know
it.
I don't even eat turnips.
I know. That's why
I give them away.
if you're planning on making turnips, we probably should have sowed it a little bit earlier than now, but where we're just after the greens, it doesn't really matter. And we'll actually probably still have turnips.
I usually do.
Yeah, we usually do. See, it's full of spider webs.
I mean, you can plant this in rows. We just don't.
I think we did one year,
We did.
and it turned out all right. So
It was pretty.
it's not going to take all of these seeds, but to get a good mixture, I'm going to put them all in there, and then I'll just put everything back in one bag. And I don't know what it is. What do you think about that?
That's fine with me.
That right there is enough to plant a 1/4 acre. Plus, all these seeds are getting kind of old. The only new pack we got is this. Everything else here is a couple years old. So I think what I'm going to do this year, I think whenever I go and tear up where we had our taters, I think I'm going to plant that up there, at least a strip.
Yeah.
And that'll be the community salad
Yeah.
patch. Which it won't be long. I need to be up there tearing that up, actually.
The sunflowers are just now blooming.
I know.
Leave it just a
And
little.
we still got watermelons making too, so.
Yeah. Leave it just a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be so many dang. This will be enough to sow an acre right here. All right, so what we're gonna do is just mix it all together. That right there is probably enough seed to sow that.
Yeah,
Well,
probably.
it's actually probably more like that. But so you gotta, I like to use a spreader on something like this where there's such small seeds to try to get me a good even dispersal of them. But an old trick a lot of people around here used to do was mix, take and put it in a bucket, and they'd mix it in with their fertilizer as they scattered it, so the seed and the fertilizer would be slung at the same time, and you just sling it out. Or I've seen people mix sand in with it too, which will also work. But I like to just take this thing and barely crack it open, and I can get me a pretty good even spread of it. That's it. Look at that. You can't. I didn't even use no seed.
I didn't figure you would.
Look at that. Can't even tell I used any. But either way, they're actually out there pretty heavy. They was coming out pretty good. So I'm just gonna take the rake and lightly rake over top of it. All right, and I'll actually come out either later tonight or first thing in the morning and set the sprinkler on this and water it in real good, because I don't know how much truth it is to it, but the old timers around here always said that if you didn't get a rain shower on it within 3 days of planting it, it would never come up. So we've always planted it around rain showers, but we don't really have a chance of rain in the forecast right now. So since this is up here at the house, I'm just gonna water it in.
So did you see our peas coming up?
I did.
Look.
They're just starting to bust the ground.
Yep.
We got a lot of cucumbers coming up too. Right there's a pea. Yeah, they're just starting to pop
There's
through.
a whole bunch of them. I mean, it looks like most of them have actually popped through for the most part. There's a few skip spots.
Yeah.
Especially down through here on the other side. See them all the way down through there?
Right there and there and there. And that's just started happening because I looked at them last night and I didn't see none.
Yep.
So that's just happened today.
Well, that's good.
That's what we want, ain't it?
That's right.
Well, we got one more little interesting thing up here that we kind of wanted to show on camera because neither one of us has ever seen anything like this happen before. So,
Yeah, maybe you have. I don't know.
And maybe y'all have.
So this is our echinacea, our purple coneflower. It's one of mine and Andy's favorite flowers. But this one did something weird this year, and it's just this plant. Usually they dry up and, you know, they reseed themselves. That's seeds right there. But these...
Sprouted in the thing.
Yeah, sprouted back again.
Look at this.
I don't know. It's like the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
You know, and it happened not long after the tropical storm came through, so I'm wondering if it was so much moisture
maybe it did
caused them to do that, but still.
It's still super weird.
It's very cool. And it looks like this one is actually trying to bloom.
So, me and Andy have decided to do an experiment since it's something strange like this, and we're going to cut these off and put them in pots and see if they turn into more flowers.
That's right. So that's what we're hoping for, is they end up rooting out. And we've got little, you know, plants.
Yeah, I really like echinacea. Not only is it beautiful, there's lots of, you know, like medicinal benefits and stuff to it too.
Look at that. Let's cut 9 of the best ones off. That one right there is definitely going to be one.
Okay.
And then we'll just pot them up and see what happens.
I mean, they might just die, but...
And if they do, they do.
Yeah, we ain't lost nothing. I just think it's odd.
They're definitely going to die if they have to stay right there, because you know it ain't going to be nothing for them to live off of inside of that.
Yeah, it's just very odd.
It is odd. It's like already blooming or something. You see that? All those little blooms?
It's weird.
That is. It's crazy. They may not.
You're not going to keep that one?
No, I'm not going to keep that one where it's already tried to bloom out. It don't look like, see, that one looks like they're supposed to look. You know, when they're little seedlings.
Yeah.
That's 5. So I'm guessing what we'll do is just pot them up to like right there.
Thing in there, yeah. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to do unless we tried to split them up, but I ain't going to do that. I'm afraid I'd definitely kill them then.
Right.
I'm just going to bury this whole little bulb here, or whatever you want to call it. We'll see how it goes.
It'd be cool if it turned into a bunch of little plants. Once they got a little bigger, we could separate them.
Yeah, I know. I got several places around here where we could plant more. Well, you always find a place to plant it. Whoa, you're stepping on them.
Oh, what'd you lay them right there?
You're stepping on that one.
There's not a good place to lay them.
I know.
I didn't even see them. They match the grass.
A little more. Alright. That one right there is the best one. It's got the biggest plants in it.
Just the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
You know what? You know what? I wonder. I'm hoping somebody in the comments has seen this before or knows. But you know what would be cool is like if that fell over, touched the ground, and rooted itself and made more plants.
That would be cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do they do that?
Well, no, I don't know if they do or not. I've never seen one do it, but it seems possible.
I've only ever just seen them dry up.
And usually turn into seeds.
Yeah.
That's it. Just water those in. Well, we're gonna let those live right there and see if they start to come out and grow. What do you think? You think they're gonna live?
I don't know.
It's just a weird thing, ain't it?
Yeah, it's hard to say because there's so many little plants all piled in together.
Yeah, they'll be thick if they live.
Yeah.
But
We'll just have to wait and see.
But anyways, y'all, I guess that's gonna be about it for this video. I think me and Jacob's gonna go climb back up on the roof. Since
the sun's went
yeah,
under.
it's went behind the clouds over there, and it's getting kind of late in the evening, and it's cooled off a lot. So I think it'll be the perfect time to be up there, and we'll probably work till it gets dark.
Yep. But anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's video. Hope you might have learned a little something. Until we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.